Hey, Happy New Year, my name is Matt Attia, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be discussing a live performance video that I DP'd, and I'm going to be breaking down some of the lighting in camera and some of the challenges I faced.
Had a long talk on a long drive home. I know you hated how I'm always on my phone. Do you remember times when we used to laugh and kiss and love?
So my friend Dennis reached out to me and asked if I wanted to DP this video for him, and right away I said yes, and he sent me photos of the location. And I knew it was going to be a challenge right away because the size of the windows in this location. So whenever you're faced with shooting directly into windows like that, you're going to run across some problems of exposure, and you kind of have three options. One would be to expose for the sky, leaving the subjects in silhouette, or exposing for the subjects, which would create the sky to be super blown out. Or in our case, what I did was bring a ton of level on the inside so you can balance out the exposure between the two. So that's why a lot of the times in films and commercials, you'll see windows with curtains and shears. That's actually the DP asking the production designer for the curtains and shears because that's going to help them out with their exposure. Now, in our case, we didn't have a ton of budget, obviously, to cover those huge windows, nor did we have the time and the resources. So that was kind of my options as a DP.
And what I don't know is I've been trying to find a way to your side, 'cause I'll never get you off of my mind, even if we say.
In this case, it's always best to get the biggest light you can get your hands on because it's always easier to balance out the exposure that way, and it's always easier to bring down the level as opposed to not needing enough level. So in this case for lighting, we had two 300Ds and two 120Ds. So what I did was I took all four aperture lights and I shot them through our 8x8 silk, creating one big source. Additionally, I added an 8x8 solid, creating some negative fill. So when I got to the location, I pulled out my phone and I used an app called Sunseeker, and what Sunseeker does is it tells you where the sun is exactly going to be setting and at what time, and in this case it helped us position the band accordingly, and as well as placing our lights. As for our camera setups, we had my C200 on a Dana dolly and we had the Ursa G2 on tripod, just getting some tighter shots. I was constantly checking false color on my small HD monitor because as the sun was setting, I had to adjust my exposure accordingly, as well as adjusting my aperture lights. So this was just a brief breakdown of this video, and if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, and if you have any more questions, I'll happily answer them in the comments, and if you would like to see the final performance video, I'll put that in the description. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.